Oh.
Why can I just stop dreaming about waffles?
Somebody put the emojis.
It's so funny.
I'm such a dick. Like, if I was there, I would immediately go like, okay, you got this, honey? I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, this is the best.
She's like, where are you going? Go to get some fucking waffles. Yeah, I like a good waffle.
Okay, I like this little girl because you could tell she's trying so hard to communicate, right?
Yeah.
Like, something's fucking wrong. Something's going on. But all that we know is that there's a waffle loop in her brain. And so she's trying to tell her mom, she's like, I just can't stop thinking about waffles. And her mom's like, well, you ate them for dinner, you ate them for breakfast. We're going to make sure we eat something different on the next round.
Right.
And then she kind of pulls a me move when I'm like drunk or something. And I'm trying to tell a story to a friend. And it's like, no, you don't
get it.
You don't understand. Like, I can't stop dreaming about waffles.
It's not that I want a waffle. I just would give anything and stop fucking thinking about it for a minute.
like when she's rubbing her head right here, just like.
It's so sincere though. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Oh man. So I don't ever find like a lot of stuff on Facebook that makes me laugh this hard, but this little girl cracked me up, man, because yeah, she's just like, she's torn. Just, you don't get it.
I don't go on Facebook anymore. That used to be my primary source of comedy.
Where are you at on social networks right now? Because it's interesting to me.
Is Instagram, but then I'll do something on there and disappear from it for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like if I think that there's something interesting, and I use it as like to be able to document the shit that I want to remember.
Yeah.
And I'm able to share to Facebook and shit like that. And then I can go back and Instagram's just like a fucking photo album for me.
Sure.
So I can go flipping through and be like, yeah, I remember that shit.
I like that because you can the way that like Christina P, she describes Instagram, it's fantastic.
Oh, it's spot on.
Right. The past few episodes she's been like, of Your Mom's House, she's been like, well, Instagram is a visual representation of what this person thinks their life is, like what they want.
You want people to think that you're like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fucking spot on. I've heard that a couple times, and when she said that, I've never heard, and honestly, I've never heard anybody else put it so accurately.
Well, and it made me think of like the internet at large. Like we came from text-based stuff, and then video content became more popular. But for the social feeds, the meme generation honestly dragged people into quick pictures and GIFs and stuff like that. Right. So you translate that to what you're doing. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, you're trying to do the same shit as everybody else, right? So it's just, and because it makes sense. One picture is worth 1,000 words. You barely got to do anything.
Absolutely true.
Super cool. So everybody
on Facebook and shit, like I'll go on there. Usually I'll get drug in there because somebody will say something to me.
Yeah.
Somebody will comment on something, or Christine will tag me in something, then somebody will say my name and on another comment. Then I end up on there. Most of the time on Facebook, I don't know what happened in my head. I just get annoyed.
I get annoyed by the fact that I don't have very much genuine interaction.
Exactly.
And that's what
it used to be when
me.
I first got onto Facebook, like I was talking to friends that lived in Oregon and family members I haven't seen in years and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting requests to send them, feed their freaking pigeons while they're on some fucking game, and I'm like, oh man, like I don't know.
See, and I'm trying so hard to be aware of that because I think this way. So if I'm interacting with somebody, I just try to be like as myself as possible, and it's kind of just me being briefly nice probably for a second.
Yeah.
Because conversations are different than like texting conversations. But I remember not too long ago I sent out like a Twitter message to somebody that is higher status than me, that I just wanted to talk to him.
Yeah.
But I remember a YouTuber that I know personally, he told me that it's hard for him to make actual friends because of like the thing that you just described, which is I'm doing a thing, so people keep on just kind of wanting me for the thing.
Yeah.
They don't want to just talk or kick it or share a video
Exactly.
or just be like, hey, oh, that's so cool and neat or whatever. Yeah. But I'm also learning that nice shit is you get more likes off of nice stuff than like your deep dark moments that you share, right?
Yeah, if you say some phony ass shit, giving somebody props at a McDonald's that pays for a veteran's meal or some shit like that. Not that that's not something people should do,
right?
But it's like we've got enough examples of that. Let's move on,
right? Let's get back to being pricks.
Being pricks, absolutely. Be yourself, you fucking phony. And that's myself. We're all a bunch of assholes, and that's the shit I love. It's like,
dude,
I dig it, But that for me is like Twitter is by far the punchliner. It's the one. Like I've reached out to Chris D'Elia once and never got anything back and didn't want anything back because it was a place that I know if he wanted to see it or if it whatever it's gonna show it. And it was just like not his latest special, but the one before that, just going like, dude, you fucking killed it. It was so good.
Incorrigible or whatever it was.
I think so.
Something like that.
But
yeah, I remember that.
It was just a shout out to him, just like, hey man, you freaking way to go, you killed it. And I use it a lot, I guess, for pitch and stuff, but I go in and out of pitch too. But
yeah,
it's
I'm definitely like a drops in the ocean kind of mindset for that shit because I don't need to be platformed and broadcasted, much like this podcast. This conversation's enough for me, but if it goes further, then who the fuck isn't stoked about that?
Yeah, what do you mean? Like our conversation could go further? Like we?
Well, I mean the fact is somebody would pay me $1 million for my brain. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like I don't expect that, but what I want to do is show that I like the podcasting group and to be part of it actually, and so I wanted to do that. But when I'm on social, it feels like the same, and that's what I just did recently was I started to just say nice shit to be just another comment in the pool of people feeling cool about themselves.
But honestly, some of the shit I've seen you post on Facebook and stuff like that, it seems sincere. Especially like lately.
No, it is sincere.
Sober October shit, you know what I mean? You have a head change, especially when it first comes into it. You start feeling better and you're more optimistic, and then day 4 rolls around, you're like, fuck.
Oh my god!
Shit.
Today, I was so just not having it. I was so tired today. That's what it was because I was like, damn, if I'm gonna do the sobriety thing, then God, am I gonna wake up and be refreshed? But it's like, nope, still me.
No, exactly.
I'm still myself.
That's what I always kid myself by thinking it's like, oh, I'm not gonna drink for a whole month. I'm gonna feel fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna drink. It's like, no, I don't feel any different at all. I mean, I do to a certain degree.
Yeah. No, you do, but it's like you feel good about a goal, but there's not like a tangible payoff at the moment because it's so new.
Yeah.
But I saw a thing online on Twitter, and there was a thread that I really liked that I think it was Burnt Crystals or something like that. He put it out, and it was about somebody saying, had my first, like, how did they say it? It was my first unaided sleep, like me going to bed without...
That was him. Yeah, he said that.
Well, he retweeted somebody else saying it.
Oh, because I remember him saying that on a podcast once.
Did he? Okay, because the thread was cool because then I saw that a lot of people were doing the same thing, right? Now that was
self-medicating.
Right, yeah, self-medicating to be able to go to sleep. And I know that's hella common with adults.
That right now, especially with Sober October, is like I last night went on another hike and like did the other stuff and came home and when it was 8:30 on the dot, I popped the melatonin.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm not used to sleeping, and I'm used to 4 or 5 hours of sleep every night,
right.
And that's one thing I'm really gonna work on because
sleep's huge.
Oh fuck, man,
dude, sleep is huge.
And me being so out of shape and big and stuff, it's hard to try to be active because it takes me so longer to recover.
Yeah.
Since I'm not a physical guy, you know what I mean. I do a lot of stuff here and there, but I don't push it beyond.
I don't.
And that's what you're supposed to do. Like, if you want to lose weight and shit, it's not just getting up and being more active. It's like, no, you gotta fucking do a lot.
It's a mindset, right?
Yeah.
Like it's changing your whole lifestyle. It's not like just strictly physical. Like
it's a lifestyle, bro.
Just gotta.
It's not a diet.
I just don't eat. No, I think that it's a head game. You got to get into the right mindset. You got to get your heart in it because, like, dude, your emotions get thrown, and then all of a sudden you want to throw away your progress, stuff like that. I'm way into that mindset because I remember back when I drank for like early 20s, like everybody does. I drank all the time.
Yeah.
And then getting out of that fuck, all it took was a bad day, and I'm just like, you know what? If the goal, and I think that's good though. Like I think being realistic is cool. We talked about that at the beginning of October of like, if you're not hitting your goal, then it's totally fine to just try to hit the real goal, which is just being happy, like making sure you feel good about yourself, that you're confident.
That's with this thing, with this deal this month is I didn't set any goals as far as like any weight loss or any hard gym goals or anything like that. I just have a minimum, like very achievable 3 times minimum a week I'm going to the gym, and then I'm going to also try to hike as often as possible. So to me, to get motivated to hike, I gotta have something to do while I'm doing it. And hunting, so like as soon as deer season for me just ended, and so I bought a turkey tag, and I'm gonna go kill a turkey so that I get out of the house. How much is a turkey in the store?
$20. I don't know.
Yeah, so
15,
probably something like that. The tag for it is $35.
Right.
And then the fuel to go up there. And when you get a bird, they do not taste anywhere close to as good as one that you get in a store.
Why?
Well, they're all farm raised. Like even like the
farm raised birds are better.
Like that.
Better.
Hands down, they have high fat content. Okay. You know what I mean? They taste way better. You roast a wild turkey, it tastes like shit.
What's that? But what's the bloated duck that's?
That's not. Don't talk shit about foie gras.
No, what's it? No, not that.
Oh.
Something with a P. We ate it once at our fancy party. We had a neighbor, Francois, that was super fun, and
he sounds fancy.
He's cool. He's a very cool guy.
Wow.
Dude, that guy could talk to anybody and like make him feel good. It's a skill.
That's a good thing to have.
But so he's an anthropologist, so he's a cultured man. So he brings over this dish for our fancy party, because I'm a Hot Pockets and SpaghettiOs background, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
But I don't remember what it's called. But it was like, he told me the process is they bloat. A duck or a goose, they feed it, bloat it, keep it so it's not getting exercise, whatever, and then
that sounds like foie gras.
And you eat it with crackers.
Is it not foie gras? It's
that doesn't ring a bell for me.
Fattened goose liver. They're force fed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
what, foie gras?
Yeah.
That's weird. I'm gonna Google it or something and remember the name, because maybe there's like
there could be another thing that
another name for it or something. But that's exactly what I was talking about. But that shit was all right. It was kind of good.
Oh yeah,
tasted pretty sweet.
Pretty bomb. It's pretty good.
That was the only like exotic. Like everything else for me is just store bought. So I'm just like, what? The only thing different I ever had was that.
Yeah, I was gonna bring you some venison and I didn't.
Right. I don't even know if I've ever had it. I don't know if I've ever had venison.
I love venison. I eat wild game more than any other thing. Like all the fish that we eat is fish I caught. I have beef.
Oh wait, venison's just deer meat. Oh yeah, I've eaten venison. What's the baby meat? That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, you're thinking veal?
Veal. Okay.
I've never eaten veal. I've had it, and then gave it to a chef friend of mine, just because I didn't really have any desire, and I had just.
That seems kind of weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. I mean, same as foie gras. I'm not going to deny the fact that I think that foie gras is delicious, but it's kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? You're caging animals and you're force feeding them to fatten their livers. And what's really crazy is looking at what's it called? Looking at the process of how they fatten them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is these animals have lived in this condition the whole time. They look happy.
I just imagine like a pudgy goddamn bird sitting in a cage, and then a guy with a spoon. And he's just like,
come on,
one more bite,
one more bite.
But then that's the 8-hour shift. It's just one more bite, one more bite.
They actually got these things that the geese. They're like a, what would you call it? Like a pneumatic, like something you'd fill your tire up with.
Yeah.
Except there's a big straw on the end of it.
Okay.
And the geese come by, and when they go by, this is the way they're used to eating. So they tilt their heads back, and they're like, like ready for it. And the guy grabs the goose by the head and pretty much puts it down their throat, and which to me was like, it takes all the fun out of eating.
Yeah, that's weird, man.
It's pretty fucking weird.
That's so weird. The things that people eat are so weird.
Yeah. Well, it's weird to think about the guy that came up with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. Like, yeah, with food we get so creative, and when it's just like when recipes are interesting, but then like the recipes extend to the animal's life and what you're doing to it while it's alive and shit. It's just like, every day I'd wake up and give him a bath in vinaigrette. You know, and
No
I
shit.
gotta get it just right.
Yeah, rub his back with sea salt and pepper since he was born. You know,
It's gonna be the most delicious pig I have ever raised.
ever had.
That's funny, man.
And I've got him trained so he sleeps in the oven. So, you know, there's gonna be a zero stress.
One day I'm just gonna turn it on.
Turn it on.
That's funny.
I'm gonna feed him a bunch of sausage the night before, and it'll be stuffed. And
Yeah.
it's gonna be delicious.
So, we wanted to try to do some videos because we're both trying to. I mean, to be honest, we're trying to get comfortable doing videos on the show because there's some technical shit to it. But I was trying to think of some to show you, and I watched so many funny compilations that my favorites are lost. I have no idea how to find them because they're just buried in like fail compilations and stuff. But then I thought of a jackpot category, which is which is
That is jackpot.
dude, these are always funny. Like, have you watched Jack After the Dentist? Because this guy,
Dad, I am leaking right now.
I am peeking.
Dad, the pipes aren't going. The pipes aren't going. The pipes are supposed to be with
What the fuck is he saying?
That is such a good looking color. Your purse is like purple and it looks good. Mom, it looks good.
dude, this is just like the kid, the little girl with the waffles. Is he thinks he makes a lot of sense, and he's just like, it's like a really good color though.
He's way into those colors.
It's orange like your shirt you're wearing.
We're twins.
Yes, we're twins.
You're my sister?
No.
See, sometimes I don't know if they're fucking around.
Dude, I don't know what am I gonna do? Look at me in those flags over there on that building. They look good when they're woo and windy. Yeah.
If I remember,
It's okay.
oh, he's really sad.
What
now.
is that? It's the river.
If I remember right, this kid, like, dude, he has at least 113 breakdowns during this video where he is just feeling real good, real shitty. But dude, what was do you remember David?
David.
Yeah, let's bring back the classic.
Oh,
man.
David After Dentist.
This
Yeah.
is one of the first YouTube videos that I watched that was ridiculously fun. Look, 137 million views for this
Holy
guy.
shit.
Fucking
Yeah, I
tripping
know.
out. He's
How
the
did it
funniest
go?
kid.
I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
I feel
Kind of felt good, didn't it?
Fuck the Gators.
Dude,
Is this real
that
life?
that
Yeah,
look,
this
that
is real
gaze.
life.
Yeah, he's zonked.
Now,
look at his eyes, like he's not looking at the physical world right now.
No, yeah.
He's seeing spirits. Like he's in the next dimension, looking into.
He's looking into the
Probably,
soul of
probably
whoever's
waving to
driving.
his ancestors, just like what?
Need to return to the old ways.
I have 2 fingers.
Good.
4 fingers.
4 fingers. No,
Eh?
Don't put that in. Don't put it in your mouth. Okay.
He doesn't know what to do with his hands.
Like Ricky Bobby.
You feel good?
I can't see anything.
Yes, you can.
This is the best.
Stay in your seat.
That is perfect pause, by
Oh
the
my
way.
God. He's just out. Like he hulked, and
Yeah.
now he's right back to Bruce.
You fucking tried.
It's so funny. I love these just these fucked up kids videos because I remember watching a girl that just got her wisdom teeth out, and she's I don't know why. It's just like them freaking out's hilarious. Like they're so scared,
Yeah.
but then they're over it the next second. So it's like it's fun to laugh at because you're
Yeah.
like, you're not gonna remember shit.
You're not gonna remember fucking
When
bang.
when Carissa got her wisdom teeth out, she came out and the first thing that she did was call the lady who did it for her a bitch.
Really? I just didn't remember it at all?
Yeah.
That's so unlike her.
It's like, what are you doing, bitch? It's trippy.
That's hilarious.
What are some of the first what are some of the first YouTube videos that you remember?
I've had a really strange relationship with YouTube.
I know.
Is
Interesting.
my first things for with YouTube is I fought for the longest time to not have a smartphone. Because
You're one of those.
it was just something that I didn't think that I needed.
Mm-hmm.
And now I can't imagine living without it.
Oh, dude, it's
It's
insane.
it's one of my main sources of entertainment, jokes and all that different stuff. But YouTube has always been something that was something to me was a resource. Was that I used it to find out how to do things.
Right.
To rather than doing math myself, like learning different pitches, like if I was building something and I need to put a roof on something, and they would go, "Oh no, just cut it at this degree and this degree." And it's like, "Oh fuck, you just saved me,"
Right.
You actually using my brain. Thank you.
Well, and there's such specific videos which usually they cut the last 5 seconds that I would have needed, but like Carissa's car, there's something going on with the radio. So I just looked up the car model and the radio thing, and there's a video, and this is this is what pisses me off is there's a video of the guy troubleshooting the sound issue with the radio.
Yeah.
And he what the fuck is the solution? He never says. He's just like, well, yep, it's bad. I was like,
bad.
okay. And the one
bad.
thing that I would have liked to see, because it's a custom deck, how they have these new dashes that are custom to the car,
Yeah.
so they're harder to replace. Before it was just a little rectangle,
Yeah.
and you just slide in
Pop
your
something
your
out,
new
yeah.
deck, and then you're good. But now it's all over the place. And so what I wanted to know from the video was, how do I take it off? How do I get it out? Because it all looks like it's just melted together as
Yeah.
far as I can see. And the guy literally is looking into everything, pushing all the buttons, and then bam, he shows it out. And I'm like,
Oh, what a prick.
it would have been really good to see how you did that.
Yeah.
But he probably, it's just a random person.
Right.
So it's cool, but dude, it's so hard. So it's like it's a good resource, but it's not.
Oh, totally. No, because this is the same as the rest of the internet. Is any asshole can post a video on YouTube, and it may or may not be real.
Dude, the internet's to the point now where if someone quotes like a something that they saw on the internet, and even if they know the source, I think the normal sources are full of shit now.
Right.
It's insane. Like we watched with the sexism with video gaming and everything. We got to see everybody's true colors, but from like the big ones like what are the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, these massive magazines and shit.
Yeah.
Or even like PewDiePie, when they started talking about PewDiePie being a racist.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't look at any context of the whole thing, and then they just spin it for controversial views.
Is he racist?
No. There's he had a video where he was wearing like a Hitler outfit or something, but there was a lot behind that. It's like he's hitting
He's in the
controversial.
new fucking Indiana Jones movie.
That's all it was. Felix is doing that. But no, they only cover like a super specific topic of it so that they're able to spin the controversy. And
Yeah.
once you learn how clicks are generated, then you get it. You know what I mean? It's like headlines there might be 2 sentences in that page that are applicable for what the fuck I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Because if it's just like, hey, look who's racist this week, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a
I'm not
fuck.
that big of a fan of you because otherwise, like, I know my people.
Yeah, no, totally.
And so when it's some rando,
Well, and what do they call it? The social justice police that are out there and
the
shit?
warriors.
Yeah, social justice warriors
Yeah.
that are out there trying to put everybody on the spot of if they step out of their fucking what their guidelines are about what people can and can't say with their mouth noises.
Yeah.
Is yeah, I stole that by the way. But I like do not give a shit about any of that because some of my favorite comedians and well that's where a lot of it infuriates me. If you are paid to do comedy, like, because I got, like, and I shouldn't, but I root for my favorite guys like people root for a sports team.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I want, Segura, Rogan, Bart, Chrysler, freaking all those dudes to just explode. You know what I mean? I want them to be the fucking The Rock, Dwayne. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I want him to be that
See,
big.
and dude, that's interesting. Not to give like a tangent right now, but I've
Yeah.
been thinking about this a lot lately. Is I want to do that with other fucking people too, but no one is doing it. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
what's weird about social networking is like I would love to applaud my friend's joke or a goofy video of them at the store or
And just start doing it.
like something from Bert. I noticed every time I try to make a nickname for him,
You just say his real name?
I say Bert first and then I give
Yeah.
it after. But
I
there
mean,
was
Burnt.
Dude, there was a video on his story today with Instagram where he's doing Sober October, and so he has he's got his phone like this, then a waitress is coming by, and she's like trying to hand him something. He's like, "Oh, is that the drink menu? No thanks, not drinking right now. No, you just go ahead and take that back." It's like, if you did that shit, I would laugh just as hard.
Yeah,
but
totally.
Most of my friends aren't they're just not into sharing those moments and stuff. But it's like,
maybe I'll start trying to do that shit.
Well, that's why I was like, me and you can just start fucking leading the way and making fun of each other online, just to be like, it's a safe space. You don't gotta worry.
I love that idea. It's because you mentioned that the other day. I was like, fuck yeah, roast me, dude. That shit'll be great. Like I know I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't care if anybody else does, because that's how it starts. You know, hopefully somebody will appreciate it as well.
We've got great rapport, so we're able to be, pretty comfortable with each other, because you can make fun of like anything, and people. It's funny, at work all day, people try to make fun of me, and you know me. I'm like...
well, you've got a bit thick skin. Well, ever since your transition, you really have developed this thick skin.
Yeah.
You know.
My transmission into becoming a man?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. That was
See what I mean?
while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's one of those
But when
things.
you do that shit to somebody that's not, like, into... I guess it's just with the background of comedy, because it's like, I'm not a comedian, but I watch a shitload of it.
Hey,
so
appreciating the art form itself and having a real understanding of it is like a big deal.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was getting around to about the social justice warriors things, is that there's people that do not connect the fact that comedians are doing an art form.
they're disrupting on purpose.
It's something that when they go on stage, they're not really Joe Rogan, they're not Tom Segura, they are, but you know what I mean? But what they're saying is a fucking performance piece.
Well, and Rogan says it in his new special,
which is fantastic.
Which we should talk about that in a sec for sure. But something that he says is, why do you believe everything I say? He's like, I say things for fun, and then I get hate mail and death threats over and all this other shit because somebody randomly took it seriously.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're taking something so seriously that I don't even fucking remember saying.
Yeah.
Because all he did was say, because he was talking about, in the special, he's talking about wrestling.
And gay.
Professional wrestling with somebody, and he was just like, oh, yeah, like Speedos, shaved legs, masks, men pinning each other just repeatedly.
I love that.
That's gay.
But not really.
Yeah, but not really. But, dude, that's like how this new generation, and I can see the pushback happening now, which is also gay. But but the pushback's happening now against this PC movement because the silent majority, they're just starting to click on more shit, I guess. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not stopping.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to say racist shit. You're not supposed to, if somebody's a gay guy, call him out and be an asshole. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to do stuff directed at people, but using a word to describe something, you know what I mean? If you're
Intent.
crossing a line, it's the intent thing, and there are certainly certain things that certain people shouldn't say.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a black guy, so I should never say the N-word. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
I mean, between you and I,
yeah.
just between us, I don't want to tell anybody else this, but
I'm listening.
I don't like the word.
Me either.
I wish that it wasn't in rap music.
That's a
I
lie.
wish that it wasn't. No.
I'm saying, because I said me either. And
Oh.
that's a lie.
Okay.
Yeah, I like using it in ridiculous situations when nobody can hear me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, and singing in your car by yourself.
Oh, if I'm singing lyrics, I'll do that shit in front of the fucking Wu-Tang Clan. I don't give a fuck.
Dude,
those are songs.
Kendrick Lamar, you know, because I really like him.
Is that a rapper?
Yeah. So he had somebody come up on stage and she was singing his lyrics, and then she was singing all of his lyrics, and he called her out in front of the whole fucking auditorium, and I'm just like, dude, really?
What an asshole.
Like, is it worth it?
Why?
Why? Because, like, what do you gain?
That's
just
fucking-
making somebody look
That's
stupid?
insane. If I
You know what I mean?
I wrote a song and I said in my song that Cory's a big fat fuck, and then I asked somebody else to sing it, I'd be like, hey, good job, man. You know, that's how the song goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fat fuck and my name is Cory. Is that okay? I'm sorry. Should I have said that?
No, it's perfect.
Doesn't that make...
love it.
I don't know. To me, it makes me
You missed
more...
a note.
Did I?
Yeah, but
Oh.
I like what you said.
I mean, I'm new to the Cory game.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah. But
you get it.
I think that if somebody directed that shit in my way, just like I was saying at work, people will say things to me that could be offensive. and I give them a blank face, and then I just talk normal back, and that's my defense.
And it fucking works too.
100% of
Yeah.
the time, because
No, it
they're like,
works.
no, I was joking. I'm just like, yep. What do you think I'm doing to you right now?
Yeah.
Because they're like, no, you don't get it. You're
You don't
just,
understand.
and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna react.
I
to
like
something.
doing that shit to people when they really try to land a joke.
Yeah.
And it's like I do it to Mitch all the time.
Yeah.
He'll try to land a joke, and I'll just turn around and walk away. I won't smile. I won't do anything. It's fucking terrible.
Oh, you know that when people do that shit, the thing that you realize when you're, I would say 30-ish, because you're above 30 and I'm barely below.
Yeah.
But once you're 30-ish, you start to treat yourself like an adult, hopefully. This is how it worked out for me. But when your boss, your coworkers, your friends, your family, and everybody, your parents, when they turn into peers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, I don't have to laugh at your jokes, just like you don't have to laugh at my shitty jokes.
Yeah. I don't. I do catch myself sometimes fake laughing at some people's jokes.
Yeah,
And it's more of a, I don't want them to feel bad.
for sure.
Because they're not funny people.
Yeah. Well, do you watch Atypical?
No.
So that show's really, really good, by the way. Like, good little family, funny thing about an autistic kid.
It sounds great.
It's really funny because it's like Sheldon. You know how Sheldon's weird in Big Bang Theory, so people enjoy watching him?
Okay.
Same diff. They make
Okay.
they spin it so it's not uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're just along for the ride of this
It
kid's
reminds
life.
me of the Tom Segura thing about Michael J. Fox.
Oh, about
That's one thing I don't have. My wife doesn't need. About the vibrator.
how it's just him
Sorry.
setting up Parkinson's jokes.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll never fucking watch that show.
It's like, I can't sign my name by
Yeah.
myself. Whatever the fuck. But, why did I bring him up? Oh, he does, what the fuck? What were we talking about? I had a brain fart.
Like, it's this atypical show, and how it's like they make fun of it like Sheldon, because he's kind of different.
Oh, but they talk about lying in a handful of episodes in the second season, which I thought was a really cool theme because he is autistic, and so he hides nothing. He is incredibly transparent to where
that'd be
it's
so cool.
to where it's and that's why the show's funny. It's because
Yeah.
they make these situations where the transparency is really funny. Right?
Okay, well that would
And
be
so-
like real life I bet for certain
Exactly, yeah.
situations.
And it's just how they spin it. So the family's not, like constantly feeling bad for him. They're just like
Yeah.
working through the situations, teasing him,
Yeah.
being normal family members. But the parents try to not, especially the mom, she tries to not lie. So she's like, I want to be more like him, because he goes up and he's like, well, I wanted to get lessons from the biggest liar I know, and since you cheated on dad and did all this other shit or whatever.
That sounds awesome.
Dude, she gets dunked pretty hard, but I mean, it's so, like, watching it, it's pretty valid. Like, the fact that you do lie throughout the day in order to do good things, which is, like, to get the discomfort away, to make people cooler around you. And so it's like, yeah, you fake some shit, like a fake laugh to make somebody feel cool in the day.
Yeah.
Fuck's wrong with that? Nothing. That's awesome.
Well, and for me, it's not fair not to reciprocate that sometimes, because I'll go and roast somebody for a second, and everybody will be laughing at them, and then they'll say a joke, and I'm like, that was pretty good, you know, and I'm just like, that was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, yeah, you got me. You got me with
Dude,
the
even
one
if it's
thing you could-
sarcastic, I've realized sarcastic shit works as long as you don't do the thing where you're like,
Yeah, no, I know a dickhead does that all the time.
yeah,
Yeah,
my
you
my
know.
brother does.
Oh
it
my
too.
god, really?
Yeah, so that was his thing. Is
fucking
he
hate that.
laughs real hard, blank stare in your face.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
that's not funny anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's been used in every '90s sitcom for fucking ever. I'm just like, dude,
Yeah.
just call me a name or something.
That's what's really interesting about comedy is you have to like intricately craft the joke. Like, so there's what did we just watch recently? Me and you talked about it, where they're I think they're discussing racism, and I think it's the Holocaust thing where they're talking about the Holocaust.
Oh, what's the name of that?
I can't remember.
But
but
it's good.
but
And
something that they say in that is
it's
that
about
if-
Holocaust
yeah.
jokes, and it's Jewish comedians and Holocaust survivor, and God, I wish I
Right.
could remember.
You'll remember it,
Yeah.
but after you look it up on your phone.
Yeah.
But when you watch that show, there's something that's really cool that they say, which is, no, you can make a Holocaust joke, but it has to be a good joke.
Well, I'm that way about anything.
Like, you can't just make a flat, stupid shit joke. And that's why when these comedians like Bill Burr and Rogan and Segura and the people that we keep mentioning get on stage, they're triggering those super uncomfortable points. Like when Tom laughs about conditions and the fact that you can get conked on the head and wake up with a different accent.
Yeah.
It's like, it's specifically targeting like a couple of people, and it's like you could construe that as being fucked up, but at the same time, it's kind of like a no harm done thing, because what do you want to do for the next 50 years? Talk about how shitty that is and have everybody feel bad constantly anytime they're around you? That'd be terrible, right? So I wouldn't really be about that, but I don't know. There's something. Comedy's so interesting, and with Rogan's new special, I thought he did that shit on crack. Like, he was pointing out everything going on in 2018 as far as oversensitivity and yeah, even the just being like too aware of saying the word gay and stuff like that, because all of a sudden everybody thinks that you're hate mongering, and it's like, no, like, I'm talking to my friends, so you can fucking see your way out of here.
You can fuck
like,
off. Yeah.
Oh my god,
I love that stuff. I even like listening to him talk about how he has to craft the joke to be able to joke about what he's going to say, but also not do it in a way that somebody can make it so that he's like transphobic. Like, he's got a really great Bruce Jenner bit. You've heard that. Yeah. That was pretty relevant at that time. It's like, oh man, you'd have to walk on fucking eggshells. You remember everybody like about that Bruce Jenner shit? What's her name now? Caitlyn? It is Caitlyn Jenner? Yeah. Okay. I keep thinking that was a mom.
See, and I think that controversy obviously makes you incredibly popular. So the fact that we're having a Bruce Caitlyn transition conversation or whatever, it's like there were two sides of that story for sure. So it generates a lot of conversation. I don't get it.
Bruce Jenner generates.
But I don't know, like, for me, it's like, I don't fucking hate on people when they're right in front of my face, because we're respectful and we're cool and whatever. But also, if I don't respect the person, I'm not that way in front of their face. So it's like, I'm super upfront about myself with everybody.
Well, I don't like the idea that you can't make fun of people because of whatever. I don't like that. That's not the way to live. I mean, honestly, because most real adults, if they're making fun of somebody, it's not because they don't like them or they hate them or they want them to feel bad. It's because they have come up with something hilarious to say, and they need to share it with people to get the freaking attention that you get from a good joke. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, I can't stand that shit. If there's a good joke, and it could be literally about anything, I'll fucking love it. Like, if it's a good joke. Like, and going back to that documentary about Holocaust jokes, that is something I would never attempt. Like, I would never attempt.
I wouldn't do it.
I'm not Jewish, you know, and it's something that I know that I don't think I could craft one well enough to actually make it funny.
For sure.
And but I heard some in that documentary, The Last Laugh was what it's called. Okay. And and they were stupid ones too.
Yeah, because you pointed out the Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, she's got that one like.
What's the worst thing about the Holocaust?
The cost. I love that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but no, I love that.
But it's also, I mean, like, when you get into shit like that, I feel like you know exactly where you're going, because it's like, if you don't know who Sarah Silverman is before getting to the show, you know, I don't know. There's.
Well, I think it's because a lot of people, they put the responsibility on the performer to make sure that since they bought a ticket, they need to be comfortable in their fucking seat. Yeah. Fuck that. You're going to a comedy show. You're going to a performance. The guy that is going to go up on stage, guy, woman, whomever, is going to be making jokes that are funny, fucking period. Just because you don't appreciate them, laugh it off, let it go, wait for the next fucking joke. Right. I mean, me and you went to a comedy show. Yeah. And we got to see
a woman get roasted the fuck out of the room.
It was great. Fantastic. And my favorite thing, because I've replayed that in my head like a million times, is the comedian that came up. He, you could tell he was primed for this. Mm-hmm. He was waiting for the first, and he did, the first opportunity that she fucking went and talked to her friend. He was like, would you shut the fuck up? Like, and I was like, oh. Yep.
Immediately, he wanted to start the show
And
with
that bitch
like,
was sitting
you stop.
right there.
Yeah,
You know, and I'm like,
right next to us.
because like he looked at her like, oh, is that motherfucker looking at me? Or, you know, like,
Pissed me off about that bitch was that you could tell she was talking to the staff.
Yeah.
Thinking that she was like getting a rally of friends.
well, that's this thing with some people that they have this
They get
idea.
they get so drunk. Have you
think
noticed
that's what it is?
They're always drunk. Every fucking time. They don't make any goddamn sense, or
Yeah.
the fact that they're not on stage, even though they're in
That's
the crowd.
kinda what it feels
they still
like.
get a stage fright
that
though,
they're
to where
part
they,
of it.
Yeah,
Like they think they're part of the show.
Yeah.
And like that chick trying to get.
I'm gonna
like,
be the
somebody
woo
to-
girl on the DVD.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna convince this guy that I don't know at all that he should roast that guy wearing that fucking lanyard. You know, shit like that. It's like you're not involved in this, bitch. You're a
Yeah.
spectator. Shut the fuck up.
It's insane,
You
man.
know. Yeah.
But when it comes to, I don't know, it's nobody. Here's my stance on it. To go all like straight face and stone cold for a second, I'm gonna go all PC.
Listen, America.
I'm gonna act as if I'm PC
Yeah.
and be like that. No, what the fuck help have I gotten? What the fuck has anybody done to point out shit for me? I've never gotten like help with. I mean, other than my family and my friends, you know, like the people that I had to have grown up with or whatever. But it's like I didn't get people coming to my aid for any of the shit that knocked me down with life. You just have to like buck up and get over it, and that's where the fucking humor comes from.
Yeah.
And something that I wanted to mention to you that I thought was really interesting on this topic is that I've been working on that compilation video for the podcast, and I was listening to my conversation with Nate in episode 4,
Yeah.
and he's very much the person that doesn't want to see that shit. You know, like what me and you consume, he's not about.
Okay.
But he also makes a point of saying,
Fair enough.
who cares? And I'm able to construct what I'm viewing perfectly, and if you're seeing offensive shit,
Yeah.
you are most likely, not saying that you're not able to, you know, dodge all of it, but he's like, you're able to filter that content to suit your needs.
Right.
He's like, my feed is video games and football, and if I see somebody being, you know, racist repeatedly, I'll mute him. And it's that easy, and I don't even have to lose. And he said mute, not block, and not all this other stuff. So Nate's very pro-internet,
Oh, that's very adult.
niche, and very adult.
But it's because it'd be pretending like just because somebody doesn't share the exact same fucking values as you.
Doesn't mean you can't have something in common.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, what, they have no value at all because you aren't the same fucking person?
So mute them and then
Yeah.
go to their page infrequently to see what they're about, and maybe there's something there. It's like you have full control over what you see.
Right.
And so the fact that people are knowingly treading into grounds to start shit is where you start to lose my respect, because it's like you're not battling for some valiant cause most of the time. I understand that there's obviously stipulations to everything I'm saying.
Right.
But you're a goddamn grown-up, and don't sit here and piss yourself off all day and then walk around being a pissed off person.
And that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the shit that's valid that every fucking buddy past the age of 6 should know you shouldn't say.
Right.
We're talking about like this shit that everybody's like they're looking for things.
They're digging.
That like they just want to be in charge and they want to adult other adults so fucking bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, so there's something that I think is, I don't know how to perfectly craft this thought, but it's like when you make a joke at someone else's expense, I feel like you have to put in the work to have the right to. So it's like comedians do an ebb and flow of kind of delivering information to prepare you for what you're about to get into, and then there's a little bit of shock and awe, but mostly they're tending this crafted thing. And if you just say random offensive shit, you're not funny. And you're not going to get, you know, like any real traction out of that. But it's like if you, I don't know, you just got to understand. It's like, I guess, English. Like Tolkien knew all the rules of English, so he could bend every one of them.
Yeah.
And write however he wanted to because he understood what he was doing. Comedians get that. I don't trust myself with that like
Fuck
really
no, I don't trust
sensitive shit,
myself.
so I don't do it very often.
No, I do it all the time when I'm not writing it down somewhere where somebody could read it or
Right.
or saying it in front of a microphone. But I love that. I love a well-crafted joke. Period.
For
It
sure.
could be about me, and I've always said that. Like if there was a joke about me and it was done right,
Yeah.
I would love it. It would probably be my favorite joke because it was about me, because I'm that much of a fucking, prick.
Oh, I'm a narcissist
Yeah.
through and through. Totally. I think depression made me a fucking egotist because I was just like, I'm obsessed with my feelings.
Well, no, and
Yeah.
that's valid though.
Yeah.
Because when you start self-examining yourself and shit like that, and you have to build yourself up, that's not narcissism. That's taking yourself into account and reminding yourself that you fucking matter.
Right.
You know what I mean? Is like
Yeah.
I've been there. Like that's I dig
Well, kind of like how you, you say fat Cory, I say
Yeah.
egotistical Jake, because
Yeah.
if you ever talk to me, what the fuck am I talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you will not believe, I grew another inch last night, man. It is incredible.
Yeah, so like I
got
grew another inch too because I lost 5 pounds.
I got the
Right
biggest
there.
Yeah, I don't go around telling everybody that I have a 4-inch penis,
Yeah,
because then
I don't want
guys
them to
with
feel
little
bad.
dicks would feel bad about themselves.
I love Segura.
Tom Segura's the bomb.
Yeah, he is my favorite comedian without a doubt.
It's incredible, man. So, dude, what did you think of the Rogan special? Because that was the most amazing thing that I watched recently.
Joe Rogan is a guy, like I think I mentioned it to you before, I've always really liked Joe Rogan. Like I would watch Fear Factor, and I didn't like Fear Factor. I don't like gross shit.
Yeah.
But I always thought Joe Rogan was like a cool dude. Like when I was younger, I was just like, this guy's kind of fucking cool. Didn't know anything about his martial arts background. Didn't know any of that stuff.
Really?
And then one day out of nowhere, even before I knew he was a comedian, before I got really kind of more into the comedy scene, scene. You know what I mean?
No, I got you.
More into comedy, watching it and stuff like that.
You don't have to feel fucking dumb about saying you're on the scene. You are, dude.
But he was on one of my favorite shows called Meat Eater.
Yeah.
And when I saw that we had this thing in common, because now he hunts and I've hunted for years, and it's something I was like, this is so fucking cool. I got to see Joe Rogan's first hunt.
Yeah.
And then he's been back and he went turkey hunting and did all this other stuff. I'm like, that's awesome. And then he was on there with his buddy, I want to say his name's Brian Callen. Mm-hmm. Is that his name? From he's on his podcast a lot.
The Fighter and the Kid. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, Fighter and the
and
Kid.
he was on Mad TV. And I was like, I know that motherfucker too. Because I was a huge Mad TV fan.
Whoa.
And, yeah.
Okay.
Then it just grew, and then I found out he had a podcast, and then through that I was like, oh, he's a comedian, and then I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, he's fucking funny.
Yeah.
But he's never been like up here for me, and then I found out he's friends with
For comedy.
yeah, for comedy. But and I've watched all his specials more than once, and he's funny fucking guy.
Right.
But this special is, besides Incorrigible, or no, what is it? Segura's
Oh, disgraceful. Yeah.
is this is my favorite special of the year, and it is without a doubt, in my opinion, Joe Rogan's best work.
Absolutely.
It's his best hour.
Absolutely, because I always thought that, kind of like you, he had all these other things that are interesting, and I'm actually kind of new to being a follower. So he was on my radar when we first moved in with a roommate, like out of mom's house. So we go and we move into the new place, and my homie Steve, he was way into him because he was like really into martial arts and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Steve did jujitsu, so we looked up to Rogan as this fighter and stuff. And so I think that's what it was that I was more following other shit. Like I guess how you described Rogan just barely of how he came onto your radar would be like Bam Margera to me, because it just made sense. I'm like, he's doing dumb shit, he's involved with a little bit of goth music, and he's a skater.
Yeah.
And that was very much me earlier in my life. So I've transitioned from that, but I don't know, that's what that made me think of. But with Rogan, he's so all over the place too. He's interesting.
Is
that
he the
he
busiest
does.
guy in the world?
It's insane, and now I'm checking out that Brandon Schaub guy, and I'm like, what the fuck aren't you doing? Like,
Right.
you're just as involved, and these guys are crushing it on not just the comedy scene, but so it's like with Rogan, like you said, I don't think his all of his stand-ups weren't good, but it's the fact that
No, they were great.
I didn't laugh really hard. I thought they were good, but I didn't laugh really hard. But then I started listening to his podcast, and I was like, this motherfucker has talked about everything.
Yeah.
He's very cultured. He's an intelligent person.
Yeah.
And he's, he's a fighter. He's physical. He's a hunter. He's doing all these like kind
And
of
successful in everything he
and
tries.
successful in
He's
everything.
just a driven fucking dude. And like I told that to Christine the other day, I'd give anything for just a little bit of that drive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
did you see that fucking disgusting puddle of sweat around him today on Instagram?
Huh.
Because they're doing the Sober October, and so he's on the top of the leaderboard, and he said that he did the elliptical for 2 hours, and he just does a pan of walking around the elliptical,
God.
and the whole floor. It's like he dumped out a gallon of water. It's
Holy
disgusting,
fuck.
but it's like he's driven.
Well, that makes me feel good because I was thinking about going on the elliptical.
Yeah.
I thought that was for pussies.
Fuck no.
Okay.
Elliptical's great, man. I think nothing's for pussies, because he's sitting there talking about doing yoga all day, and that's just positions, difficult positions, and he does yoga all the time.
I'm too much of a pussy for yoga. I know that for sure.
I think I could do it. I could cut it.
I think I could do it like after I lose a few lbs, but the hot yoga, I don't think I could ever do it. Like, I really don't think I could.
Yeah.
Like, I've passed out from heat and hunting and shit like that, and like it's like heat, like, it freaks me out. It's it's hotter than a hot tub inside the room that they're fucking doing yoga in.
Dude, you ever see the really big boys that can do all the splits and everything? They have like gymnast
I've seen a
flexibility,
guy,
but they're big boys.
Yeah.
That shit is so funny to me when you see like this guy that just looks like he walked out of Mickey D's.
Yeah.
And then he just like drops on the ground and does the splits, and you're like, what the fuck?
Fuck was that? Why?
How can you do that? It's amazing.
Will Sasso could have done that shit if he would have focused.
If he would have focused. But no, that new special from Rogan was like kind of the incarnation of maybe that's the wrong word, but it's just it's the buildup of everything that he's fucking so smart about.
Yeah.
So it's like he's talking about being comfortable as a person, being proud, ditching gender differences, and trying to kind of get over ourselves to the point where we're making fun of each other, but also having a good time and knowing where each other is coming from. It's like you got to know where someone's coming from before you attack them, and all this different stuff. But I don't know, man. It just felt so fucking relevant and hilarious.
And everything he did to me was spot on. Like, I love, like I was talking to Carissa today.
It's for people like us.
Yeah. And one of the things I think is for people all over the world, and I'm not going to spoil the whole thing because it's brand fucking new.
Yeah.
But he does this bit about how he's sexist against men.
Yeah.
And he goes with those.
It was just like when Tom makes the black guy white guy comparison when he's in the park, right?
Yeah.
And then he sees.
him.
He sees the fight.
Him, us.
Yeah, our him.
Our him.
But when he's talking about, I
don't know if he lives in the bushes.
Because he does the shit against white people. He's like, you can trash us for days because we didn't have to go through what you went through.
Oh, that's true. I never put that together.
But then Rogan's doing the same thing with sexism rather than racism, and he's saying, you can trash men all day, and it's just like, oh, boo-hoo, I had to eat pussy to get my Ferrari.
No, it's so fucking true, though. But as I thought about that, and what I think is the funniest thing about it is that as I thought about that on the way to work today, I'm like, so, is my head in the right spot? Because, like, if Harvey Weinstein made a girl that I know, or even suggested, not even forced or anything like that, to go down on him to get a part or something like that, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But if it was Harvita Weinstein said that to my son, you know what I mean?
Who fucking cares?
Who fucking cares? And like, to me, I was like, is that the right way to think? And I'm like, yeah,
no,
yeah, totally. That's
because
fucking fine.
Because here's where he catches himself.
Care.
And this is, dude, I was trying so hard to explain this to you earlier in the day today, but I couldn't. And it was that, like, he does exactly that, which is talk mad shit on men, saying like, who fucking cares? Fuck them.
Yeah.
Run one over, see how many people cry.
It.
And then flips it, and he just says, but men run all the shit.
Yeah, forever. And I love how he goes through the fucking female inventions. And the one was like, chocolate chip cookies was considered an invention. A man invented the chocolate chip, and a man invented the cookie, but there's a woman that made the chocolate chip cookie. And she's like, write it down.
Write it down.
Like, write it down.
Dude,
I invented that.
There's so many funny parts. The tampon. How he's like, what a dude solution to a problem is just
plug
like,
it up.
Plug it. It's just so fucking dumb. He's outrageous the whole time, and I thought, dude, it was so impressive. Like I said, he didn't even sweat.
Yeah.
Talking about this
Didn't look
pool
like it.
of sweat when he tries to do it on purpose, and he's burning 2,100 calories in a workout.
Yeah.
I burn like 150. Like when I was on the bike messaging you the other day, that was about $120.
Jesus.
That was nothing. 120, and he's doing 2,000. So yeah, he's on stage yelling the entire time, rolling over on his back,
Fucking
and
killing me.
and
I sweat during his fucking special.
I watch him and
that.
I'm
I was
hot.
dying. I was wearing a onesie though, so that might have contributed to the heat coming off me.
What was it, like a sexy onesie though? So it goes up the butt a little bit.
No, it was the Mulan.
Okay.
That dragon onesie.
The Mushu, yeah.
The Mushu onesie.
Yeah.
Is I went hunting last night and then came back and just got, like, as soon as I hit the top of the hill, it just started dumping. It fucking was raining like a motherfucker. And I saw does and all this different shit. And I'm
Well,
like,
why don't you just do a shortcut? Just lay down and roll, and just save yourself the effort of traveling back. I mean, you hiked all the way to the top. Just fucking roll down to the bottom.
well, when I hunt, I don't stop. So I went up to the top of the hill and then down another and then up to the top. So I just roll and then bap, like fuck, get stuck. But the fuck was I getting at? So I ended up getting soaked when I was at this thing. So I came back and I go, okay, I'm gonna put on this onesie and I'm gonna leave it on until Christine gets back from dinner.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, so you really did. The
Oh,
ones
I
that we
wore it
got.
for hours.
Yeah.
That was fucking like she was gone out with one of her friends out to sushi, and then comes back, and I'm just sitting there in a fucking onesie.
Hanging
and
out in your Mushu.
Oh yeah, I got.
Yeah,
she-
we randomly fell into an entire forgotten box of Mushu from Mulan onesies, and so
Thank
that's the
God.
context there. But dude, those were great.
And they never have that stuff in extra fat. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm fucking score. And
It is
everybody needs a onesie.
So good.
I was gonna go hunting in it. I'm glad I didn't. The end.
You know what? I put something like that on, and I got 2 minutes. Something. My goal for Halloween this year, because I'm not that into it, and I don't really want to like ever look for a costume,
Yeah.
is I'm gonna try to find something this year that I don't mind wearing all day long. All day long. And I was thinking of doing like a throwback to me wearing the old Scream mask, how they glow in the dark and shit like that. I'm like, I love glow in the dark Scream masks, and just like the old blood going down the rib cage and pumping that little thing. You know what I mean? It's like I'm thinking about doing an 8-year-old throwback costume so I can feel fucking cool about the shit that I liked when I was a kid again.
Did that Scream mask scare you when you were younger?
No, but it really scared my nephew, and I was a dick.
Yeah. Because it didn't scare me, but it scared the fuck out of my little sister.
Dude, I chased.
And I was a dick.
They were too young for me to scare them that bad, and I know that now. But you know, with maturation.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Fuck them.
But yeah, I think we're tapped out on time wise. But yeah, there's a whole lot of Jake and Cory for you.
Yeah. There you go.
Throwing it back on the Darkrast podcast. This is kind of like a shout out back to Broken Spoke. And anybody that wants to look up me and Cory's first podcast, there's 9 episodes available on the YouTube channel, BrokenSpokeNetwork.com.
Whoop, whoop.
Or .com. No, that's not true. Broken Spoke Network, I guess .wordpress.com, because we let that lapse.
Oh, right.
But on YouTube, check it out.
Try it out.
Yeah. And then also definitely want to give you a shout out, of course, for Cory and Chris. Brand new podcast. There's 2 episodes out. You're kind of ramping up, getting everything figured out and situated.
Yeah, before I really hit it hard.
Which I'm proud of you though, man. I'm so happy that you're fucking doing it, and that you're doing it to get doing it, and the fact that you are somebody that's not gonna try to be a perfectionist to the point where you're not working towards your goals.
Right.
Because if you want to have like a full blown podcast, whatever, even like with this, there's a lot that I want to do. Yeah. Just gonna take a little time and a little bit of that fucking cheddar cheese.
But no, I suggest anybody that if you're interested in fucking doing a podcast, fucking do it. I mean, it's a fun way to spend your time and hang out with friends. And I love mine with Christine. It's you know, we are forcing ourselves to sit down and have a conversation, you know, that isn't about work and it isn't about this, and we're
I look at mine as a collection of conversations with some of my favorite people, and so when I'm this is episode 7, and just working on this compilation of the first few episodes to kind of give people a teaser of it. They're so special to me. Yeah. It's like my book collection on a shelf, or someone else's book collection on a shelf. These are what these conversations are for me, because I don't have a lot of money and I don't know what to collect, and so I'm like, well, I'll collect frienzos, and it'll be nice. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Appreciate you. Go just fucking feel cool about yourself and confident, and then if you're a douche, just be a douche.
Yeah, fucking dicks. Thanks for having me on your shitty show, bro.
Yeah. I didn't want to tell them how untalented you were in the pitch. So
They get it.
That came off.
They get
right,
it.
yeah.
They completely, they understand.
They probably got it from this.
Yeah. No, this conversation,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It's like, Jesus Christ, 57 minutes of like fucking.
Just some fat shit sitting in a chair. Yeah, we get it.
So. I mean, someday you'll be talented.
I don't know. I'm gonna look for like better motivators than you. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, because if I'm trying to reach your level, I think I did that my first day.